the beginning of the Masechta, we went through the 3 mitzvahs. We'll see how my voice carries. I have a tea, if not I have a mic, so we'll see if it works. Without, if not I'll use the mic. The Gemara says, we began the Masechta with the 3 mitzvahs that include in Aliyah L'Regel. Bria, Shalmei Chagiga, Shalmei Simcha. In the previous year, we spoke about the mitzvah to be metar atzmei beregel. Yeah, to be metar himself. There's another chiyuv that's connected to Yom Tif. As the Gemara says, there's a chiyuv lahakbol pnei rabbi, to go visit your Rebbe on Yom Tif. Pashtus, that has nothing to do with Aliyah L'Regel. Nothing to do with Aliyah L'Regel. You go visit your Rebbe on Yom Tif. But we'll see Behemshech Shiur that could be it's very connected to the mitzvah of Aliyah L'Regel. The Gemara Rosh Hashanah Daf Tezayin Amud Bais, the Gemara says, it's Rabbi Yitzchak, it's actually another memra right after the memra. Rabbi Yitzchak says, Chayav Adam L'tar Atzmei Beregel. And the Gemara says, Chayav Adam, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Chayav Adam lahakbol pnei rabbi beregel. A person has a chayav to go visit his Rebbe on Yom Tif. How does Rabbi Yitzchak know that? So the Gemara says from a pasuk, it's a pasuk in Malachim. It's also, we know this in the Haftarah and Parshas Vayera. The pasuk says, Madua ateleches elav hayoim. Why are you going? Shunamis' husband asked, why are you going to visit your Rebbe Elisha? It's not Shabbos, it's not Chodesh or Chodesh. Meaning to say, if it would have been Shabbos or Rosh Chodesh, then we would understand why there's a reason to go to visit the Rebbe. But being that it's not Shabbos, not Rosh Chodesh, so why are you going? Al Kaponim, you see Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, you have to go. Zok Rabbi Yitzchak, Mekan, that is a chiv to go visit your Rebbe beregel. Pashtus, this chiv is a chiv midrabanan. Doesn't say in the Torah. It doesn't even say Pashtus. It's not even a divrei Kabbalah. Why not? Because it doesn't say in the pasuk in Nevi'im that there was a chiv. The pasuk just says, if it would be Shabbos or Rosh Chodesh, I understand why you're going. However, it's not Shabbos, not Rosh Chodesh, so why are you going to visit your Rebbe? So it doesn't say you're mechuyev. Purim, the mitzvahs on Purim are b'divrei Kabbalah, because it's in the Megillas Esther, it says that a person is supposed to give matanas lavyonim. It doesn't say over here that you're mechuyev to go visit your Rebbe. It just says that it's not Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh. The Pashas, it's only midrabanan. However, the mitzvah Eisan on Masechta Sukkah, we're going to get to this Mishnah, but the din is that shluchei mitzvah are potter from Sukkah. If you're doing a mitzvah, you don't have to sit in the Sukkah. One of the examples is if you're going to visit your Rebbe. If you're traveling, you're going to visit your Rebbe, this din, Rabbi Yitzchak Chayav Adam L'Kabel Pnei Rabbi B'Chag, if you're going to visit your Rebbe, then you potter from Sukkah. So the mitzvah Esan asks, I don't understand. Sitting in the Sukkah is Midoraisa. Visiting your Rebbe is Medivrei Kabbalah. Not just Midrabanan, it's a step up, it's Medivrei Kabbalah. So his teretz is, these taka no chiyuv Midoraisa, but if you go and you visit your Rebbe, you have a kiyum of kibud rabbi that's Midoraisa. So we saw that these chayiv adam lahakbol pnei rabbi to go visit your Rebbe, and b'pashtus it's only midrabanan. It could even be that it's a medivrei Kabbalah, and maybe even furthermore, you might even have a kiyum midiraisa. Fine. Back to the Ikar Adin, that a person is mechuyev to go visit his Rebbe. The Rishonim ask, what's the source? The source is from Shunamis, that her husband said it's not Rosh Chodesh and it's not Shabbos. Okay, but it doesn't say a word about Yom Tif. It doesn't say a word that Yom Tif you have to go visit your Rebbe. It says Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh. So how does Rabbi Yitzchak know that a person has to go visit his Rebbe on Yom Tif? Furthermore, why Rabbi Yitzchak says he's a chiyuv to go visit your Rebbe on Yom Tif? What's about Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh? Why doesn't Rabbi Yitzchak say there should be a chiyuv to go visit your Rebbe Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, like the pasuk says, Lo Shabbos v'lo Chodesh hayom? So it's a two-way question. Asks the Ritva. Where does Rabbi Yitzchak know Yom Tif, and why doesn't Rabbi Yitzchak say that he's a chiyuv Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh?
Well, at what point in time is this what talking about? I mean, it's not in Gemara. People who were working and they came for a Yarkei Kala twice a year. Everyone else did the yeshiva, they went home Yontif time. So Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, they were there, and Shabbos Yontif, everyone else was not there. And who is he talking to?
When your question is when is it, what time in history, when?
Yeah, so it's not in Gemara. At the Yarkei Kala twice a year.
So we'll get to that soon. That's a big chiddush in Noid Yehuda, but it doesn't touch about it exactly. But let's see soon. But the truth is, what's your question?
I'm trying to answer Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh because maybe everyone they were there Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh.
They were anyways there.
How's the answer, Kasha?
So it answers half the kasha. He's saying that Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh they talk were there, but the Maisa, the other part is for sure shver. How does Rabbi Yitzchak know Yom Tif? Fakert. Shabbos and Yom Tif, they were there. Though you see that they weren't there. You see that they weren't there because she was going to travel. You see they weren't there.
Even if they were being Chaim, still you should have said.
So the Ritva says a gewaldige chiddush. The Ritva says, and we'll see that could be this is even lahalacha. The Ritva says that the chiyuv for somebody to go visit his Rebbe is a chiyuv depending on how close you are to your Rebbe, that's how often you have to go. If you're in the same city as your Rebbe, you have to go every single day. If the Rebbe lives a little further outside of the city, like the story by Shunamis, then it's once a week, once a Chodesh. The minimum is every Yom Tov. That's the minimum. That's the minimum. And Rabbi Yitzchak that said regel, Rabbi Yitzchak saying the minimum is regel and you can't be misatzel. What is Rabbi Yitzchak bringing? Lo Shabbos v'lo Chodesh. She wasn't so far, so she had to go every Shabbos, She went every Shabbos, every Rosh Chodesh. However, Zok Rabbi Yitzchak, the minimum is once a Yom Tov you have to go visit. The same like the Ritva is the Rach, Rabbi Nachum on the Gemara, on the page, and Rabbi Nachum actually has that girsa in the Gemara. If you take a look in the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah, it just says, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Chayiv Adam l'hakbo pnei Rabbi, and then the Gemara says from the pasuk, Rabbi Nachum adds this kasha and teretz. Vakshinon v'habe regel amarnu. We're talking about regel, and what do you see in the pasuk? Not regel. Uparkinon, the Gemara answers. In other words, he's learning it into the Gemara that it depends how far. If the Rebbe's close by, you have to go often. If he lives very far away, then minimal you have to go just Yom Tif. So what comes out lefi this? If we would stop right here, lahalacha lefi the Ritva, this that we know, Chayiv Adam l'kabel pnei Rabbi b'chag, that's the minimum. But if your Rebbe lives closer, a drive away, you could go into the car, you go to Brooklyn, you go to Lakewood, then it might be more often than just once a Yom Tif. And the truth is, we can find it like that, lahalacha, not that he's a chiyuv, but the concept in Hilchos Shabbos and Shulchan Aruch, Siman Shin Aleph Sif Daled, the Shulchan Aruch says that a person, hoy lich ledvar mitzvah, you're allowed to walk through a river. At Choshesh v'schita, at Hilchos Shabbos. But what's the dvar mitzvah? The Shulchan Aruch, the Vachaber, gives an explanation, kegoyin, an example, kegoyin lahakbo pnei Rabbi. which means on a regular Shabbos, you could go visit your Rebbe, even though you're going through the water. But often you see that there's at least a mitzvah, a kiyum, of Pnei Rabbah, even on a Shabbos. The Chaim over there in Bialoch explains that machaber with the Ritva and the Rabbi Nachum that we just said. That's the reason why on Shabbos you could go visit your Rebbe and you could walk through the water, because he's a mitzvah on Shabbos as well. Not only Shabbos, but during the week also, even any day, any day, like we saw in the Ritva, that if your Rebbe lives locally, there's a din to go visit him every single day. To Shulchan Aruch and Hilchos Tisha B'Av. That's a weekday. It's not a Yom Tov, even though it's Ikri Moed, but it's not a Yom Tov, and Tisha B'Av's not Shabbos. And the Shulchan Aruch says that you're allowed to walk through a river on Tisha B'Av, L'kabel Pnei Rabbi. So you see, even on a regular day, there's a mitzvah. The big question, however, is why is it not brought lahalacha in Shulchan Aruch? I just said that it's brought in Hilchos Shabbos and in Hilchos Tisha B'Av, but even over there that it's brought, the Shulchan Aruch doesn't say chayiv or mitzvah. The Shulchan Aruch says if you're going l'dvar mitzvah, you're allowed to walk through the river. Why doesn't the Shulchan Aruch say, either in Hilchos Yom Tov, Siman Tov Kuf Chav Tes is the siman about mitzvah Simchas Yom Tov. It should go in there, it should have its own siman, that is a mitzvah to go visit your Rebbe. It's not brought in Shulchan Aruch. But again, up until now we have the Ritva says that it's not only Yom Tov, it's Shabbos, Rosh Chodesh, and technically every day. But you don't find it in Shulchan Aruch, nothing. Not Yom Tov, not Shabbos, not every day. So there's the Chiddush of the Noid Yehuda. The Noid Yehuda says that the mitzvah is not Noig B'zman Hazeh. The mitzvah to go visit your Rebbe on Yom Tov is not Noig B'zman Hazeh. Why? Just like the Gemara says in Kedushin, you're not allowed to stand up b'fnei Talmud Chacham more than morning and night. That the kavod of a Talmud Chacham shouldn't be bigger than the kavod Hashchin and the kavod of the Rabbeinu Shalom, which Pashas is twice a day, morning and night, Shachris v'Arvis. So mainly you're not allowed to stand up more than twice. Gemara, Memela, says the Noid Yehuda, Bizman HaBais, that we used to visit Kavayachol, mitzvahs aliyah l'regel. That's why I said in the beginning of the shir, it's connected. Bezman HaMikdash, we used to be makabel pnei hashchina aliyah l'regel 3 times a year. So Memela, we also went and we visited our Rebbe 3 times. Masha Enkein, Bezman HaZeh, that we don't have the Beis HaMikdash, we don't have aliyah l'regel. Hayos, you don't have aliyah l'regel, Memela, there's no chiyuv to go be makabel pnei Rabbi.
Chaim had a chiyuv to be on the regular every day. Rebbe not allowed to see the Bais Medrash every day. And it's time to ship it to the top.
So the mice is like this. The chiyuv, good, very good, beautiful what you're bringing up. You want to know if somebody lives in Yerushalayim, does he have to go more often? I want to get back to that in a minute by the Emek Bracha, exactly your question. However, because you're asking in the Ritva itself. But you're bringing it up now, being that we're being medamet aliyah l'regel. Let's go back to, we just said, Zokta Noid Yehuda, that only 3 times, not more than 3 times, because it should be more than aliyah l'regel. I shunamis when Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh. Zokta Noid Yehuda, and this is how we want to be Yashav the Ritvos Kasha. What was the Ritvos Kasha? We began this year. Where do you see, how does Rabbi Yitzchak know from Shunamis that you go Yom Tov and maybe you have to go Rosh Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh as well? The teretz is, you cannot be mechuyev more than Kabbalas Pnei Hashchina, which means you cannot be mechuyev more than 3 times. Sagt the Noid Yehuda Chiddush. There's one thing is Chiyuv, and there's another thing what you're allowed to do. If the right word to call it is that there's an Inyan, there's a Maila. There's a Maila. There's a Maila to go more than 3 times. You want to know about going to the Bais HaMikdash? Avada. There's always a Maila of going to the Bais HaMikdash. I don't remember where, but Tosfos says, I think L'Gabe Karbonis, every time you go to the Bais HaMikdash, a person gets Kedusha. Avada is a Maila, but a Chiyuv, there's only a Chiyuv 3 times. Memela, versteht sich, there's only a Chiyuv. The mitzvah lila regel is 3 times. Memela, L'Kabel Pnei Rabbi, there's a Chiyuv only 3 times. Rabbi Yitzchak's just showing the concept from Shabbos for Rosh Chodesh. But the Chiyuv cannot be more than 3 times, more than what we find by the Beis HaMikdash. So a Chiyuv, there's a Chiyuv 3 times. Is there an Inyan to visit your Rebbe more than 3 times? There's an Inyan, yeah. Here you could use the word Inyan. Sometimes when it says, there was once somebody who announced before the mitzvah Hayom of Purim, it was still a while till Purim, but the mitzvah Hayom, so the person said you should have in mind to be Mekayim the inyanim of the days. It's not an inyanim, it's not an Inyan, it's a mitzvah. Here it's an Inyan. It's an Inyan, it's a Maila. I looked over and over, it doesn't say a word that it's a mitzvah, it's a Maila, it's an Inyan. Memela. Zok the Noid Yehuda, the Rambam that brings halachas that are negei bisman hamikdash, right? The Rambam brings halachas karbonis that are not noig bisman hazeh. So Mela, the Rambam brings the mitzvah of l'kabel pnei ravi b'chag. It's not noig bisman hazeh, but it's noig bisman hamikdash. Mashe Enkein, the Shulchan Aruch that only brings dinim that are negei bisman hazeh, he doesn't bring it because it's not noig bisman hazeh. The Rif and the Rosh that do bring it, Zok the Noid Yehuda, like I said, there's no Chiyuv Bizman Hazeh, the Matik, the Lashon HaGemara, but there's an Inyan, there's a Maila to do it, therefore they bring it. So it comes out of this, Bizman Hazeh, after we saw the Noid Yehuda, Bizman Hazeh, there is no mitzvah l'kabel pnei ravi b'chag. There is no mitzvah Bizman Hazeh. The son of the Noid Yehuda, and the Agoyes on the Noid Yehuda, is Mitzayin, the Magen Avram in 2 places says clearly that is a mitzvah b'zman hazeh. Okay, they can be arguing, but it's just important to note. The Magen Avram say over there in Hilchas Shabbos, he says actually even more. He says Yom Tov is even a chiyuv, but he says Shabbos because it's in Hilchas Shabbos. He says he's a mitzvah. L'fira Noid Yehuda b'zman hazeh, to go to visit your Rebbe on Yom Tov is Inyan. The Magen Avram says could be even he's a chiv on Yom Tov, but Akapanim Shabbos he's a mitzvah, and in Hilchas Tisha B'av also to go visit your Rebbe even on a regular day there's a mitzvah. But the Noid Yehuda says that b'zman hazeh it's not noyig. And the reason, says the Noid Yehuda, you know why it's not noyig? B'doimet al aliyah l'regel.
How's the halacha Shulchan Aruch Hilchas Shabbos then with the Noid Yehuda?
Oh, very good. Because the Noid Yehuda is saying, b'zman hazeh, there's no chiyuv.
The Inyan itself is a heter.
Yeah, there's a mile to go. Very good, very good. The Magen Avram explains it because he's a mitzvah. Very good, you're pointing out that you see that you could go through the water on Tisha B'av or on Shabbos, thus allowing that he's an Inyan, even if it's not a mitzvah. Good, very well pointed out. That's what comes out, yeah. You look in the Noid Yehuda, it's mamash, it's clear, it's not a mitzvah. And that's why the Ben HaMachaber is Magia, Ayin the Magen Avram says it is a mitzvah. The Eimek Bracha's yard site was yesterday. The Eimek Bracha asks on this Noid Yehuda from the Ritva. And L'fi Rabbi Nachum Scheiner, it's the Gears in the Gemara. We just said the Ritva a few minutes ago that the Ritva says that there's a chiyuv to be makabel pnei rabbi on Shabbos, and if you're close by every single day. Frekte emek bracha. Wait a second. Fida noide be Yehuda, you can't be b'chuyev more than aliyah l'regel. Aliyah l'regel's for sure only 3 times. That's undisputable. So frek the emek bracha, the Ritva says that there's a chiyuv l'kabel pnei rabbi every single day if you live close by. So how does that stem with what the Noide Yehuda is saying? The Noide Yehuda is saying it can't be more than aliyah l'regel. It is more than aliyah l'regel. B'chlal, on this chiddush that the Noide, the emek bracha, but we answered your question. B'chlal, on this chiddush of the Noide Yehuda that b'zman hazeh there's no mitzvah, that there is no mitzvah. The other achronim, the Aruch LaNer, among others, ask from a Gemara, though the Noide Yehuda himself brings that Gemara. There's a Gemara in Sukkah that they went to go visit Rabbi Eliezer, Belud. So the Noide Yehuda says, yeah, that's talking about Bizman HaMikdash. So the Aruch LaNer, the Shevet Sefer was the son of the Ksaf Sefer who took over the Ksaf Sefer, the Rabbanis. They asked that it wasn't Bizman HaMikdash, and they have rayas, because you see that they were an regel. There's no time now to go into the rise. But Al Kaponim, they ask and they argue on the Noide Yehuda. The Noide Yehuda says that it's not Noyik Bizman Hazeh. There's an Indian. They say it is Noyik Bizman Hazeh. Why doesn't the Shulchan Aruch bring it? So they say the Shulchan Aruch doesn't bring it because there's no chiyuv. Though it's a little bit shver, why the Shulchan Aruch wouldn't say mitzvah to go be makabel pnei rabbi? Maybe it could be matchik that the Shulchan Aruch really does bring it in Hilchas Shabbos. They don't say that, but really it's not brought in Hilchas Shabbos. In Hilchas Shabbos it's brought that you're allowed to go through the water when you're hoylech l'dvar mitzvah. It's very agav. Somewhere in Shulchan Aruch it should have said chayiv l'kabel pnei rabbi, mitzvah l'kabel pnei rabbi. So what do we have so far? So far, if somebody's going to ask you, if we stop the shiur now, and somebody asks you, is there a mitzvah to be makabel pnei rabbi b'chag, to go visit your Rebbe, al kaponim Yom Tiv? The Ritva says, expands even to Shabbos, v'shchodesh, al kaponim Yom Tiv. Are you mechuyev to go visit your Rebbe on Yom Tiv, yes or no? So the answer has to be, explain, chiyuv, mitzvah, a maila. The Noide Yehuda says there's a maila. The Magen Avram, the Aruch LaNer, among others, say there's a mitzvah. So far we have either there's an Inyan to go visit your Rebbe, or there's a mitzvah.
It's going to cost you a plane ticket. $5,000.
So it's a well. Slow down. We started the shiur. It's a mitzvah pashas, a mitzvah derabanan. It could be it's a kiyumas even a deraisa. So we have to tu zacharayin. It's a hilchas tzedakah, hilchas chaimish. I think over there also the shaila is if it's a chiyuv, not chaimish. Is it a chiyuv? Is it a mitzvah or it's a minig? I remember once going through the Indian tzedakah. Okay, that's a shaila b'fnei me. I want to know how much you have to spend to go visit your Rebbe. Good. So what do we have so far? We have so far that it's either an Inyan or a mitzvah.
What's the get of Rabbi?
I'm not going to cover it in this shiur. It's very likely that there's going to be a part 2. Rabbi Muvak. I saw, you're bringing up the shaila. It's what to speak about. Also the shaila is how you makayim it. Is it just by seeing him? I'm not able to get to it b'chlal, but one thing I saw, but I didn't see it enough I didn't see it inside klar, but I saw brought from Chaim Kanevsky why another reason why there's no kiyum b'zman hazeh, because there isn't a Rabbi Muvik. But you have to look into it better. But upon him, that's good. That's aura. You want to after today's shiur, we'll see there's an Inyan or a mitzvah. We'll see furthermore. So now we want to be Makayim. So which Rebbe? Good. It's a good, fine to be Mavar, 100%. So we have so far, there's either an Inyan or a mitzvah. There's yet a chiddush in the Yaris Tavash, Rabbi Yonis and Eibeshitz. Rabbi say, listen to this chiddush. Mamish, the opposite. The whole chiyuv to go visit your Rebbe is only la'achar ha'churban. Bizman Bais, we went to the Bais HaMikdash, Kabbalas B'nei HaShchina. Hayois, there's no Bais HaMikdash. So Memela came Chazal or Masakin, or Me'en, B'mokam Aliyah L'regel. B'mokam Aliyah L'regel. Meaning to say, till now we said either he's an Inyan or a mitzvah. The whole Rabbi Yitzchak Lefi this is speaking about Bizman Hazeh, Chayiv, he's a Chayiv. So till now we said he's an Inyan, he's a mitzvah. The Yaris Tavash is that Fakert, the Chayiv of Rabbi Yitzchak is only speaking about Bizman Hazeh. And Memeli says like this. So how does Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh B'chlal come in? It's moiridik. Be'etzim, it's only Yom Tif, and has nothing to do. Be'etzim has nothing to do with the pasuk. What does it have to do with the pasuk? With Shabbos, Rosh Chodesh? What she went then? What does it have to do? The Ritvos Kasha, Zok the Yaris Tvash moiridik. The whole chiyuv to visit your Rebbe is b'makom instead of going to visit the Shechina, the Beis HaMikdash. So how does it? Where's it b'chlal that Shenamas was going to go visit Elisha? How does that come in b'chlal? Now the teretz is the Medrash. The Medrash says, and it's the emphasis that it's a pasuk in the Haftarah in Shabbos Rosh Chodesh. We're going to have it now. The next Rosh Chodesh is Shabbos Rosh Chodesh. The Lashon HaPasuk v'hoyi midei Chodesh b'chadshay midei Shabbos v'Shabbat yavika basel l'shtachvos. That means la'asad lavoi. There's going to be aliyah l'regel every Shabbos and every Rosh Chodesh. It's a Medrash also. Yalkut Shemaini is memela hayois la'asad lavoi. There's going to be aliyah l'regel every Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh. And Zok the Yaris Tavash. That was the reason why back then Shenamas there was an Inyan, there's a Maila, a Me'en, to go visit a Rebbe on Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh. Memela Bizman Hazeh, Zok the Yaris Tvash, Bizman Hazeh for us. Rabbi Yitzchak says, that's Pshan Rabbi Yitzchak, there's a Chiyuv today to go visit your Rebbe on Yom Tif, Al Shem, L'Zeicher, what we used to have, the Beis HaMikdash. That's what he's bringing from Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, that's going to be done for the La'asad Lavai, so we do for the Beis HaMikdash, for what we used to be, what's going to be. Just to be Messiah, so let's just be Messiah very clear. If you take away of the whole Shiur Mamash in under 60 seconds, the Chiyuv L'Kabel P'nei Rabbi B'Chag, which is a Chiyuv Pashas Medrabanon, is there a Chiyuv for us Bizman Hazeh? The Noid Yehuda says it's only an Inyan. Other Achroinim, the Orchlaner, the Magen Avram, these a mitzvah. And in the Yaris Tavash, these a Chiyuv. Just to conclude, the Yaris Tavash says, what do you gain by going to be Mekabel P'nei Rabbi? Not what the Chiyuv is the Chiyuv to learn, to see. What do you gain? Zok the Yaris Tavash, you gain two things. When you go to visit your Rebbe, you gain two things. One thing is, when you go to visit your Rebbe, you see your Rebbe, and seeing a tzaddik is mashpia on a person, but that it says that if a person looks at a rasha, it's mashpia for the negative. If a person goes to visit, Chaim L'Kal P'nei Rabbi, goes to visit his Rebbe, his Rosh Hashiva, so he, by seeing his Rebbe, he gets a hashpah l'toiva. The Lashon, Haroya Oisa Makabo Memenu Birchas Shefa V'toiv, Kein Haroya P'nei Tzadik Meishav L'nafshe Shefa Toivu Bracha, Ki Olav Chal V'shoyre Oir Shchina. And then he says he's another Maila. Another Maila is the other way around. When a person goes to see his Rebbe, and the Rebbe sees him, by the Rebbe looking at him, brachas chal on you. V'yesh utelis v'zeh b'mashat tzadik v'atalmid chochem roya oise looks at you ka'omram riyah shel tzadik is bracha. So when a person goes to be makabel rabbi, to look at to go visit his Rebbe, say by him looking at his Rebbe, he gets bracha, and say his Rebbe looking at him, he also gets bracha. Have a wonderful Shabbos.
It doesn't have to be